Ooh, the light is not lighting at the moment. I wasn't going to make a video today because I thought, because I was going to take some time off. And then I realised that I am doing a 2 hour moon meeting tomorrow, and then I am teaching my apprenticeship, so I can't do any tomorrow. So yeah, and I like to regularly make content. I think it's part of the purpose. I think it's part of the service, and yeah, so I like to show up and get up and be productive and do things. And if it helps people, wonderful, great, you know. Obviously, I work with lots of different people all over the world. But if I can give or help other people who, even if it's one person who sees these fucking videos, that's what matters. So there is that. I've chosen a card of the day. I'm currently making a Mr. Black. I don't know if you know Mr. Black. Mr. Black is my sock puppet. He is fucking awesome. He features on my Facebook quite regularly, but I've molded him out of some wax, and now I'm painting him black with some nail varnish, and I'm going to give him some eyes a little bit later. But I think I've done all I can do at the moment because he's got to dry. So that's that. But the card of the day is the Ten of Wands. I nearly thought it was the nine there. I should know that really, shouldn't I? Yeah. So interestingly, I spoke this story on Facebook. Um, I saw Cynthia Erivo pop up on my Facebook or my YouTube singing Gethsemane from Andrew Lloyd Webber's Jesus Christ Superstar. And my grandfather loved musicals, and I share that with him and a love of music in general. R.I.P. Granddad. So I did a cover of Gethsemane on my Facebook. It's on there. You can see it. It's also on my Instagram, I think. But I shortened it and cut out the bits that I thought were a bit too wordy. Sorry, Andrew Lloyd Webber. And I simplified the chord structure because I was playing it on the ukulele, and yeah, I just thought it sounded better. So that was that. If I'd have had a guitar, I could have made it a bit more complex, but uke, I kept it basic. Anyway, Gethsemane, the heaviness that we carry. I have been to the Garden of Gethsemane. Um, I uh, I was I've been poor homeless and rich homeless. Rich homeless is definitely better. And my grandmother has died, and she raised me Catholic, and I kind of ended up just following my intuition and my gut, and I never knew where I was going to be from day to day. And when I say rich homeless, I don't mean rich, rich. I grew up working class on a council estate, very humble beginnings, humble roots. But I had some money. And so I went to Cyprus, just rocked up at an airport. They had a flight to Cyprus. I said, let's go there. Went to Cyprus, but got on a cruise ship, bunked a cruise ship over to the Holy Land, over to Israel. I paid, but I didn't get back on. Went to the Garden of Gethsemane, and it was night time, and I was like, I wanna go in this fucking garden. Maybe I could just jump over the fence. I didn't do that because this was disrespectful. And a priest fucking rocked up 2 minutes later with a minivan with about 7 or 8 people and said, we are having a private nighttime service vigil inside. Do you want to come? I said, yes, please. I will do that. Thank you very much. So I went inside. We had a candlelight vigil, and I just felt it was so emotional. It made me connect to my grandmother. It also made me understand, not just understand, but really sympathise with what it's like to carry burdens and to have a difficult life and to have challenges and to have problems. I have had my fair share of those things, and I'm sure that life will continue to throw things at me. Stalker included. But what I do know is this: that all of those things, and the thing that really annoyed me about the Sulka stuff is because first of all, she's been reported because she's been walking around. She flew here, she came here, she was then walking around diagnosing people without their consent, which is so unprofessional and so unethical. So we will see what happens with that. But when people try to use your journey or your story or where you've come from, and they try to weaponize it against you, really is the word. Um, you know, there's a real disempowerment of that, because those things that I have had in my life, my Gethsemane moments, they have given me my gifts. They've given me my blessings. You can't take them away from me. You know, because the amount of people that I've helped because of those moments, I am so grateful that they happened. So I'll say this, whatever is yours to carry, whatever it's heavy, you have been given that for a reason. There's something in that which is, people say if you resist your mother, you're resisting the flow of life and receiving. If there is some form of resistance to your pain or what life has given to you, you can't fully embrace it and heal and step into who you're meant to be, because there's still part of you that's pushing it away, which is what creates illness and disease. It creates all of these very clever coping mechanisms and techniques where people avoid their pain. You know, which I once again have seen very, very strongly with the person who, you know, came here, stalker, they, them stuff. I will maintain this. It is impossible to change your gender. Impossible. And we will look back at this time and we will wonder how we allowed doctors and medical professionals and therapists to be sucked into an ideology that is harmful to people, hurts them. It's very insidious, it's very destructive, it's very dangerous, and it eradicates objective truth. So I'm not okay with that. Anyway, that aside, your heaviness, your pain, your journey, your life, all of those things are there maybe to infuse into who you're meant to be, your gifts. I'm so glad for my pain. I'm so glad for all of the parts of my life where I have been in darkness. Like in the Gethsemane song, talking to God, saying, "What the fuck?" Being on your knees, going, "Lord, help me." Because actually, it gave me all of these experiences that I now use to work with people all over the world. And I am so blessed and so very grateful for that. So, yeah. If you want to work with me, carltreslove.com. Like I will always say, remember, all is good, all is God, all is love. If you want to give for these videos, you can pay back at Kyle Treslove. Until we connect again soon in a bit.